Alright, Banshee Fever 750, quick tips and tricks. Working on the 2002 Banshee, belongs to my kid. We bought it last year, the end of last year, and buttoned up a few things so we can go riding. And you know, I got this for a really good deal, real good deal on this bad boy. Rims and everything were included, had the pipes and all that stuff. But with that being said, you know, sometimes the price reflects some of the maintenance issues, and as you can see, you know, all the sliders, which is typical for a Banshee, you know, the rollers and the sliders, you know, needed some attention. So I bought a kit for them, and the complete kit. And I've already got the one main slider on. If you watch one of my videos, the installation process, on how to get that one on there. And that was the Up Racing brand, which I really like. I think their quality is really, really good. And the materials that they use are really good. I'm gonna have to do a review on this guy, but you can see it's self-lubricating. I mean, their nylon is really, looks like it's really durable compared to a lot of the other ones I've seen. But here's a quick vid. The main topic of the vid was how to remove the old stubborn style chain slider. This one had some good wear on it. Started wearing through a little bit, so I figured it was time to replace it. I was going to leave it on there for another season, but I chose not to. And this is the older style. The Up Racing one actually has a slot in there so that you basically don't have to remove the swing arm or the swing arm bolt to install it. And with that being said, this one was not like that. This is the old style, in which you have to pull off the swing arm pivot bolt, remove the nut, remove some of the shocks, you know, take the shock out, the linkage, slide your swing arm out, you know, undo your chain, and then you can put this system on, and then you got to put it all back together again. That's fine if you've got to rebuild all your bushings and whatnot on your swing arm. If you've got, you know, little needle bearings in there are worn out, or if you've got, you know, issues and you want to do a little extra work on there, then that's fine. But in this situation, the Banshee, pretty much the Banshee I bought looks like that's been done already, because the back end is tight, and I retorqued the bolt to 61 foot-pounds of torque, so everything's good. You know, sometimes, you know, you look back there and there's no play in the swing arm. Well, maybe somebody tightened down to the point where the frame is actually, you know, it's so tight, you know, maybe 100, 150 foot-pounds of torque, and it's holding the swing arm tightly, so, you know, you think it's fine because it's got so much pressure on there. But I retorqued everything, and swing arm's fine. So I'll show you my method and just give you advice. This took 4 to 5 minutes, if even that. It took longer to figure out a way to do it without removing the swing arm and having to take it apart. So this is kind of a shortcut. So what I did was, you figure this was on the Banshee like that. This was against the swing arm, right? So initially what I did was, you can see it was kind of like that. Initially, I took a screwdriver with a real fine edge, and I just wanted to play around with it. Now this screwdriver, obviously it's not made for pounding on with the hammer. I mean, you can probably get away with doing it gently, but eventually that shaft is going to push through and you're going to ruin your screwdriver. This is something that's more suitable, full shank screwdriver. You can tell I've used this for pounding on stuff for years. It's already kind of flattened out a little bit up there. But the problem is with this is the tip is really wide. And I use this for certain things, so I didn't want to sharpen the tip down. But if you want to sacrifice one, you can sharpen this down a little bit, round off one edge so that you don't mar the cup in there. And what I did was I just kind of went like this gently, and I just tapped it without putting too much pressure towards the actual swing arm, so you don't mar anything up or ruin the dust cap back in there. So I just gently, you know, went straight with it, and then dropped it down and went down a little bit. And then once I got a certain way, then I just popped it with the bigger one. Now, I did experiment with a few things though along the way. I used my 130 watt soldering gun that I've used. I've used this before to trim plastics and stuff like that, and it works great for like thin plastics. But this plastic is a little thicker, and as you can see, you know, I made it halfway through, and I was like, all right, this is taking too long. I might as well just take the whole dang swingarm apart at this rate. So that's when I started going with the screwdriver the rest of the way, and it worked out. And then when I got to a certain point, then I just used the air saw. You know, once I got one part done, right, then I just pulled this out, and I just took the drum, you know, my air tool, the body saw, and I just buzzed it off. I mean, it's probably a 3-4 minute job, 5 tops. But then I saved all the time and aggravation of having to take everything apart. You know what I mean? You know, it's a big job. I mean, it's not a big job, but I mean, if you're a hobbyist and you got the tunes going and you're enjoying yourself and life is good and the coffee's brewing or the beer's going, then by all means, whatever beverage is to your liking and you're just making a day of it, then it's great. I've had those moments, but today I just like to kind of get this done so I can move on to something else. As you can see there, you know, I've got a street bike powered Banshee here, a little off topic, but you can see it uses a whole different system. I've got an amp link system in there that I'm going to remove because that lower sprocket's just chewed up, and I don't feel like making any. I mean, maybe in the future I will make them. Go to a machine shop and make some new wheels, but amp link's out of business. They got bought out, and they no longer make replacement parts for that. So I'm going to have to install a different chain slider system on that also. So with that being said, I just wanted to get back over here and show you the easy way and a shortcut on removing that main chain slider up in front. They're a pain, and I just figured if somebody can benefit from this vid, and it's great, save you some time. If you have a higher wattage soldering iron, like 250, 300 watts, then I'd say this would be the way to go. A little fumey, but you know, it's just going to be faster. And this one's only 130 watts, so it just wasn't, it didn't have enough. It was just taking too long, but it would have worked. But there you go. Quick tip of the day. Hope this helps you out. Don't forget to rate my vid. If you like, give it a thumbs up. You can leave a comment in the comment section. And any questions? I think I covered pretty much everything. I usually don't get questions. I usually try to cover everything, so it makes it easier. But if you got any questions, go ahead and drop one in the comments, and I'll get back to you. All right, so stay tuned. Some more action coming around. I've got a lot more things to do here, and I've got a review coming up of the various chain slider systems, and also there's always stuff coming up on a street bike powered Banshee. I'm constantly making improvements to that bad girl. All right, Banshee Fever 750. Don't forget to subscribe. More videos coming up.